it from the factory, and you check that one box on it, and finally he succumbed to the Cummins trend and switched over to Cummins diesel, which is the dominant motor. There's a couple of Duramaxes out there yet. Here we go, Joe Wiltse, Maple Park. It just wants to do nothing but suck the moisture out of it. But Mark Kelsey and Bert Weber, they've done a tremendous job building this track. Got a lot of moisture down in it, and so they've got a lot of stuff to work with. And it's looking good thus far. That's when you really powered with the Cummins. Unless he switched over. I'm trying to see if I can find a truck guy around here to confirm plate. It makes sense, you know. The Cummins motor's got all the R&D behind it, parts availability, there's lots of it. So, and they make good power. You can't argue that either. Midwest Summer Nationals. Aaby's down to his last chance, all the way up from Kentucky. Down to his last chance here at the Midwest Summer Nationals. Second attempt. Scott Willoughby. Hopefully he can get her off the line, get her down the track. Boy, now that's not what I want to see. Yeah. You know, if you come from Lena and that happens to you, well, that ain't too bad. You just got to go back home to Lena. But he's all the way up from Winchester, Kentucky, and not really able to get down the track. We give Scott Willoughby 75 feet for his efforts here today. This here going to be Sean Fuller out of Johnson's Creek, Wisconsin. Calls it the end game. Bouncing pretty hard in there. He got the bouncing pretty hard. He clicked the throttle, hit it again. Boy, it just started shoving him around. Luckily, Sean Fuller's a young fella. If that was me in there, I'd be calling my chiropractor, telling him I'll be there in half an hour. Yeah. Well, the upside is I don't think he's broken truck, so that's a good thing for that. He got bounced around pretty good. Steve, is he okay in there? Is he all right? He drives it off the track. 199.36, 199.36 for Sean Fuller. Uh-oh, they're picking more parts up off the track. What'd you guys find? bouncing like that. It just compounds itself until something bad happens. But it settled down for him, and he come out of it with a good run. 305.98, 305.98 for Ben Aaby. Let's see, that's going to put him unofficially 1, 2, 3, 4. Unofficially, that's going to put him in 5th place. 5th place according to my Platteville High. We want to thank the good folks at JAD Incorporated, also Proto Tire Cutting, G&B's Machine, G&B's Performance out of Monroe, Tom and Brenda Foley. I know them well. Also Ingle Pin Dynamo. All right, the Rock Diesel Chevrolet, clean white machine. Brian Dedolph doing the wheeling here today. Comes out of Janesville. Our first 2 pullers went 321, and nobody else has come within 6 feet of that. Lemke out of Sandwich. Truck he calls Kurt. Before he's got his turbocharger boost built up. Yeah, they'll pull it back and get one more crack at it. Chris Lemke out of Sandwich. Chris Lemke gonna have to make it go this time. line, but he sees that it's not gonna sustain the run. He goes, get after her a little harder. So he'll wind her up pretty tight this time. Count. Got her off pretty good and powers down through there. Got a little bit of the bounces at the end. And somebody asked me what causes that. A lot of times that bounce is caused by trying to turn just a little bit too much gear. The tires are trying to grab and get traction and they start jumping out of the track because they're having trouble. 316.7036 estimated. JC Wi-Fi. Stevenson County Farm Bureau. Gold Mine Components. FHN. Grade Solutions. Stevenson Service Company. Kelsey Excavation. And Full Throttle Power Sports. Here we go, Jake Thompson out of Waterman. I don't know it for a fact, but it sure sounded like it. Is that Duramax powered? I see him shaking his head down there, my railbird. That is Duramax. Yep, okay. I guess my ears aren't all that bad yet. Still running a Duramax. All right, the 50/50's up to $1.25, 125 to the winner. Okay, they're gonna sell. The trophy hunter, Jamie Larsee, out of Richland Center, Wisconsin. Needs to go 320, 321.